given Jamie's limited experience kicking, what potential does he have as a punter?
That's why he made this football team. I think the safe bet would have been going with Britton. He's more consistent. He's been around a long time. I think it would have been very difficult to let a guy like Jamie out of the building. He's so talented, got such a big leg swing. The sky's the limit for him. I mean, I think he's just scratching the surface on how well he can be, or how good he can be, and how good of a punter and holder he can be in this league. I just think he's so talented that, we just got to make sure we channel that energy and talent and hopefully get as many consistent punts as we possibly can.
Did you guys get feelers that teams were just waiting to pounce on him?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. You'd have to talk to John and to Elliot and the personnel guys. I don't pay attention to that. I mean, I was, the special teams coordinators on other teams mentioned to me, wow, this guy's really good. I mean, where'd you find him and that type of thing? I said, I didn't find him. I went down and worked him out because I was told to. Who wants to go to Arkansas Pine Bluff, right? But no, actually, it was a nice area. It's really nice down there. I had a good time. Coaching staff was great. They were really good to me. And Jamie had a bunch of players out there, all his ex-teammates out there watching him punt and making fun of him and making fun of the way he throws the ball. He can spin it with a rugby throw, but he can't throw it overhand very well. But we're working on that so we can run some fakes down the line.
All right, so he's not, if the NFL ever gets a team in Arkansas, he won't be the candidate.
Yeah, I guess he's not going to take a job there.
All right, help me out on this, because he may be a great kicker. He hasn't done it yet, and he may be great. But you also have a new place kicker, and now you have between your long snapper and your holder and your kicker, it's a lot of stuff going on. People just take it for granted. They don't seem to be worried about it. They got to be.
Yeah, they have to be.
Thank you.
Right? There's no way you couldn't be, because you haven't seen this guy hold in a real game. Your only experienced piece of that whole operation is your long snapper, Charlie Hewlett. I think the money quote there was him saying the safe bet would have been britton-colquitt. I think that's kind of admitting. We talked about gambling earlier. They're kind of gambling on this punter situation. They think there's a lot of upside there with Jamie Gillan, but I think there's going to be some growing pains too.
Yeah, it worries me because that's such an important part of the game.
Yeah.
And you're leaving it up to people who haven't done it before. And you would think that Colquitt would be the steadying force. I mean, I don't know how many Pro Bowls, but he's won a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And I don't recall him shanking one at a key moment. I don't recall him fumbling a snap. I think you're going to have that somewhere along. It may be unfair for me to say this at this point, but I think it's something I'd be concerned about.
I mean, I think it's a fair concern. The holding aspect of it is a big piece of it. But also, the thing Colquitt did really well was he could pin the ball inside the 5.
Right.
He always seemed to be really good at that.
Didn't seem to overkick coverage.
Yeah, exactly. Can Gillan do that on a regular basis? If he's kicking from the 50-yard line, can he pin the ball inside the 5 like Colquitt could? These are things we don't know yet, and it's a big risk.
Speaking